That's what it's up to. What's up, everybody? Coach here, coming back to you with a Deadzone Monthly. We've been out of town. We couldn't get our stuff together, but now we got our stuff together. So we're going to do another Deadzone Monthly. And the title of this Deadzone Monthly is, we're going to be focused like a laser beam, because sometimes we get our stuff together, but now we got our stuff together. Whoa! So we're going to do another Deadzone Monthly. And I got to mute myself somewhere. On YouTube. What's going on? All right, never mind. Technical difficulties. Professional. So we're gonna focus today, and we're gonna do. I'm going back to Nexus Psi. Yo, I don't think so. Okay, with me as always is my two best buds from Canada, Terrence and Philip. I love these guys, but no, we got. Jack and Rob from Deadzone, the podcast, because if I say it the other way, they get upset.
Only me. Jack loves the other way.
I prefers the Deadzone podcast.
Yes. Well, you made him do all those bumpers, and then all of a sudden, poor Wintergreen.
Yeah, it's well known, well documented, that whole debacle.
Yes, and then it makes me laugh to no end to the fact that. When you guys argue and I'm in the middle of it. I love it. But for the first time, we actually got the YouTube chat going right now. So we're on YouTube, and people can write stuff. So I'm going to write something right now. What's up? Right? And it didn't work. There it is. What's up? And it's on the chat. Look at that. So Arthur's up there, So Arthur, he's going to chime in now. Arthur's on the rules committee, and he's going to be chiming in. He says he should be doing work, but he's hanging out with us. And I said, I like that. All right. Don't worry about the mess in back of me. I've been painting up lots of stuff this week. So what I like to do, I want to do what everybody else does because I always wanted to do it. We're going to start with Mr. Jack.
Yes.
And I want to ask you, other than drinking sake, what have you been up to hobby-wise?
What have I been up to hobby-wise? That wasn't documented on the last podcast. I painted up two Maw Beasts, which they're already packed away, so you can't see them. I rebased a Teraton that the base is gone. Those things happen to the model and the base just magnetically opposed sometimes. And I painted up 6 Enforcers. Well, I'm almost done. They're just here waiting for another layer on them. See, Combat Enforcer. One day, when the rules change, I'm telling you, Combat Enforcers, you'll be prying the arms off. You'll be cutting and snipping, and I got 6 of them just waiting.
Yeah, I did it a different way. I got them still on the sprue. So I'm not even going to bother with it. And then I also ordered another Sergeant Howlett so that I can paint him, because I know they're going to come out with this awesome Enforcer unit of destruction. And the Assault Enforcers are going to hit on 2s and save on 3s, and it's going to be monumentally magical. So they're still on the sprues. I'm waiting for that. So
you and I will be ready. Other people are caught with their pants down.
Yeah.
So what I've been up to.
Rob will just buy 16 more boxes of Enforcers anyway. So
they're coming. That's called Warpath.
Yeah. All right. So Rob, what have you been up to?
Nothing. I finished my post-apocalyptic bikers, my dwarf bikers.
Yes.
And I did some plague, but that's about it. But the plague I used the Dreadball plague team and plagued them all up crazy.
Nice.
So they're nuts looking. They got wings.
And I want to thank you. You sent me a bunch of those apocalyptic bikers. I haven't got to them yet, but I appreciate you sending them. That was awesome.
Yeah, pretty cool. I know you like the dwarves.
Yes. And speaking of dwarves, I painted up 15 militia / steel warriors. And I started painting the the Jotun. So I painted the dude. I don't know if you could see it. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. Let's see. Can you see it?
Focus.
I don't know. I can't tell. Well, anyway, he's painting.
He's painting.
Yeah. And then I painted up a bunch of the Steel Warriors and stuff. Now, the one thing I'm really happy about that everybody was complaining about it, but I did it. I don't know if you could see
the two pistols, yeah.
Yeah.
Where'd you find another arm that fit?
You don't find another arm. You're a modeler. You have to model it. So what I did was I took the left arm off I basically cut the hammer and I cut the pistol off, and I did this, and this, and then I green stuffed it, and then I pasted it. So it's because I couldn't have like this, so he had to be like this, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so did it like that. So that's what I did. I did 15 of them Steel Warriors, and this guy by far is my favorite. I'm never going to use him, the Dragon's Breath guy. I know I got a harsh light, but
you know, see him. Looks good.
Yeah, I like him a lot, man. So that's what I've been up to. So looking forward to Warpath. You guys, I know you got probably the ultimate Tyrant times 4. So what's
it eventually comes, yeah.
yeah. Now what's going on? We're getting three deliveries. It'll be the stuff, the rule book, and then the Wave 2 stuff, which is like tanks and all that good stuff. So,
but everything's pushed back, especially the Wave 2. It sounds like not until April or something now. So
really,
well, they said no longer Q1 2017, so that's April, right? March, April.
Yeah, I think so.
Q2 starts. Yeah. We'll see.
We'll see. Yeah, I'm just looking forward to it, man. I want to start playing some Warpath and then, making some videos about it.
Yeah, we're not sure about the Warpath, but I definitely want those vehicles.
But if you're not going to play Warpath, what's the sense of having the vehicles other than to paint them?
Oh, there will be rules for Deadzone.
Yeah, we'll budge up some rules. Especially, I think the Veerman right now, if the Veerman could, like round 2, pop up with those tunnelers any place on the board and be like within striking distance, something to get them up to par. Yeah.
Yeah, surprise attack.
I think they should just like if a Nightmare has 2 drills, he should just be able to tunnel up wherever the hell he wants to.
Well, I think generally Veerman should be able to do that.
Yeah. So now, the last Deadzone, the podcast, you guys said that my comments are usually not affiliated or doesn't necessarily reflect the Deadzone, the podcast. But I like to take a few minutes, and I'd like you to basically, let's go. Tell me I was right. Tell me I was right. Tell me I was right.
Veerman? Well,
yes.
Of course you're right.
Yeah,
we thought you'd be right. But,
yeah, we said that
really
very.
Right.
I think if you were to find the clip, we prefaced it by saying, he doesn't necessarily, coach does not necessarily represent, but in that case, he was 100% right.
No, I know the clip. I just wanted to hear it again.
Oh, okay.
You just like hearing that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Call my wife.
Tough.
Yeah, call my wife. Tell her I was right. Let her know.
Oh, and that won't help you anyway.
Yeah, well, whatever I can do. So, all right. So we got a few guys in here, man. We got Arthur's here and Rick's Canada. And so Rick has been commenting a lot of the Family Gamers videos. I appreciate it, Rick. I really appreciate you being there, man. And he's got a Necron as his little icon there, his headshot. And he's like me, a 40K Necron guy that was playing Deadzone and Warpath. So, I feel your pain, brother, but we're here for you. And I don't know, you want to jump right into it? Let's start doing Nexus Psi.
You're in charge. You're the ringmaster of this circus.
I'm not used to this, man. I'm used to the taskmaster over here telling me what to do.
I'm on vacation.
Okay. So here we go. Let's get her done. We're going to start with and anybody who's watching, if you're watching this live, we're live right now. and you want to join the party, just drop some comments, drop some stuff, drop anything you want us to talk about, and we'll get to it.
Drop drop a beat, drop a mic, anything.
Anything. Just don't drop it on your foot because, you know, that would hurt. So anyway,
Don't
here we
drop a
go.
deuce.
Yeah, well, you know. I might have to excuse myself later to do that, but anyway. All right, so let's get to it. I'm going to read some stuff, and then we have, you know, once in a while I have an opinion, but since we'll start with the plague, and I'm very glad that they did this. Now, I don't know if everybody knows, myself and my two compatriots here were play testers on this, and hopefully our input was put into it, and you know, I really like what happened here. So, Rob, you correct me if I'm wrong. I know you guys got the stuff, so let's get it going, all right? Let's get we'll start with Dr. Simmons. Number one, let's just, before we do anything, Dr. Simmons, new model. I think very sexy, very cool, very, very wanted, right? What do you think, Jack?
The new model is a vast improvement. We knew once they did the hard plastic Type 3s that there would be some improvements like across that line, and they really stepped up. The stats, you know, are all right.
Well, that's
her as a leader with her splat is what's going to take her from trash that no one ever used, from being a joke to something that quite possibly when you're playing. Oh, there's Rob's displaying prominently. He's unboxing before our unboxing.
Well, do we have a live unboxing going on? That's pretty awesome.
That's a bold move. He's doing his pre-unboxing live on the air. That's a garish. That's a blatant disregard for my feelings.
But aren't you in the next room?
Well, let's not pull back that curtain. Don't look behind the curtain. I'm the great Laws.
Well, technically we're international as it is. So.
Yeah. We were going to record the unboxing after this. So.
Okay.
It's all the same.
Way too much Deadzone, you know. And all right, so let's go through her stats, man. Rob, double check me with the stats here. All right, so Dr. Simmons, she's got a speed of 2 tree. She's got a shoot of 6+, fight of 5+, and a survive of 3+, size 1, armor 0. She is tough, tactician 1, and a medic. She comes with a rifle, which is rapid fire, range 6. Weapons option none, campaign ability none. She may also be taken as a mercenary, but you're going to use these things. Okay? I will try to read it, and I will try not to be as bad as when Rob read the Star Saga stuff. All right. A genius in the fields of xenoarchaeology and xenobiology, polymath, and autodialect, the change the plague wrought has honed Dr. Simmons' brilliant mind towards a single goal, bringing the plague to the heart of the GCPS and using it to destroy the Council of Seven. In revenge for using her and her scientists to unearth the plague artifact that destroyed Nexus Psi. I love it. Good fluff. So her splat is what we'll talk about first. Spend an army special result to activate the biomodifications Dr. Simmons has implanted within her troops. Non-vehicle active model gains an effect of the player's choice from the following list. So instead of the stage 1 where you roll for it, you use the splat and you say you're going to get this. So you get Claws, which is basically range F AP2. Adrenaline Burst, you get a +1/0 speed till the end of the round. And Grav Pods. Gain the Jump Pack and Glide ability until the end of the round. And a Recon is a 4+. So what say you, my brothers?
I'd just like to point out, look at what it says next to her name there. It says Dr. Simmons, character. That's pretty interesting. This says character.
Okay.
I think that's one of our ideas.
So she is not a champion. She's a character.
She's not a merc. In this case, she's a character.
Right. I like that. So you could take her. Well, when you think about it, she would only work for the plague, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
reasonably. Like I think it would be a stretch to think she would work with anyone else, considering the fluff of the world. I'm not saying impossible, but basically she should be pretty much play exclusive.
Right. I see it as like, all right, so we have a plague faction in the dead zone. So let's say it's a stage 1 and whatever, and then like all of a sudden all the zombies are just kind of rumbling around and they're just this, and then all of a sudden the plague dogs, they start getting happy, their tails are wagging really quick, and then the stage trees are like, oh my god, look, it's Dr. Simmons. And she's like, what up, my peeps? And then the stage 1's like, what are you doing here? She says, no, this is your show, I'm just here to help out. And then she would kind of go with it. But would she, I mean, I guess you wouldn't be able to use a splat if she's kind of a merc, but if she's in charge, you would be able to use the splat.
Yes.
Yep.
I can't imagine they would allow you to start putting wings on a Brocker. There you go, buddy. You fly high. You reach the stars, champ.
All right, so here we go. Authors on the ball here. The paragraph under the campaign abilities option points out which army list Doc Simmons can be used with, i.e. any plague ones.
Yeah.
So that's nice, man. Dr. Simmons may also be used as a mercenary for strike teams using other plague army lists. So that's pretty good. And you know what? Technically, she's 18 points, 2 victory points. Tactician, 1, which you wouldn't be able to use, but she's a medic and tough.
And save 3 is nice.
Yeah, save of 3 and tough.
Yeah.
And she's only 18 points, so a survivable, useful Simmons as a leader and as a merc. We'll say merc for now, just because.
For those points, that's one of the best leaders, especially for the special leaders. Only 18 points, that's cheap.
And I like the fact that she's very survivable. Tactician, tough, and 3.
And you do a horde army with her with like a bunch of dogs and stage 3s. And she's pumping them up all the time, giving them all special abilities. That'll be a fun list.
Yeah.
Now, medic is not anything. I'm not hanging my hat on medic for any as a bonus for anything. But her having tough is both surprising, like a pleasant surprise, and I think for me that's what raises her up, makes her better. Certainly better than she was before in general.
Right. Now you think about it though, if I was Dr. Simmons and I was doing experiments and stuff, I'm going to give myself one of the better upgrades, which would be tough. So, it just kind of fluff wise makes a lot of sense. I like that a lot.
That's true. If she's putting other people under the knife and modifying, biomodifying, she'd give herself some bony armor.
Let's just comment on that model too. Look how good she looks. Where is she?
Hold on, I'm gonna focus. All right, Rob, you're good. I'm telling you, man, she's kind of a zombie hottie. If you have a kind of a fetish for zombies, Doc Simmons is she's doing all right.
I like the ripped up suit. It's all cool.
Yeah. All right. So now, I've said it a lot of times before on Family Gamers, and I want to reiterate it now. I really, really love these elite lists. I think it brings another flavor to Dead Zone, and it just expands the universe a lot better. And I'm like all for it. I love the fact that they're doing this. The rules committee guys are hitting it out of the park, I think.
Yeah, these supplements are great.
Yeah, the infestation supplement is awesome. My son is a hardcore Rebs player, and we were just, we actually stopped round 1. We were starting to play a little bit, and then we wanted to do the live monthly. But he's always running Nikolovsky with the 5 Lancers, Teratons, Rin Nomad, and everything. So 200 points, man. And I'm running Forge Fathers, trying some stuff out, and it's early, but he's already taking guys out, man. I think it's a way to make factions. I mean, Plague Faction was good. They really didn't need help, but this is just another way to run them. and variety is just spice of life. You know, I know that the next team building exercise, we weren't going to do any elite lists until they made a plague list. So I'm glad that the front office said it's okay.
Yep. Now we can season 2 with the elite lists. We can finally do them because Jack cannot complain anymore.
Well, I could find a way.
Well, okay.
And it's
You
good
can
too.
always find a way.
We need 2 more seasons, and then we're in syndication, so it works out perfectly.
That's true. They need to
All
put
right,
out some more supplements so that we can do more seasons.
The more supplements, the better. You know, well, like I said, I think between Forge Fathers, Plague, and Enforcers, we have at least 8 shows to go. So, but let's run through this. All right. So, the 3A and the 3Z zombies are your troops. Right now, the stage 2A becomes a specialist, which
That's
is
what it should be anyways. But yeah.
Right. Yeah, they're pretty good troops, but they're good and they're not good. I mean, they're great and but they die pretty quick.
Yeah.
The stage 3A specialist, which is good, and we all know that you give the guy either the launcher or the mortar or the just the HMG, man. Which I think, honestly, in the plague, that's the hidden gem. The 3A with a HMG is just awesome. Who else? All right, so you get the Plague Enforcer. You get to use the Plague Enforcer with the experimental weapon. So that's something Jack would run, something fun, because he could blow up and just have smoking boots there.
I haven't.
Do you have that model?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I got it too. I love that. I love that model. An enforcer who's been plagued out and he's got an experimental weapon. Nothing's better.
And it was a metal model too, so it had some heft.
Yeah,
it's nice. I've only used him once, and I think first round he got his head taken out by a sniper. Robin is 4 snipers per army list deals.
As per the norm.
Yeah.
So, and then you could take a Teraton. Plague Teraton I don't think is as good as the Rebel Teraton, but he's still nasty at 24 points with everything he gets. It's pretty good. And then you could actually take a Strider. So that's what you can take. They have access to ammo, AP ammo, frag grenade, holo sight, metapack, smoke grenades, and even an energy shield. So you could take 1 energy shield for 12 points. I don't know who you put it on, but it's kind of cool. And then having a holo,
you don't need it on her.
No, but and also a holo sight with I don't know if you guys saw, we had a bat rep, and High Dice puts a holo sight on an HMG, and that's tough to deal with.
No, you dealt with it. I watched it. And you took care of business.
Well, through superior tactics and whatnot. I'm just saying it was that had to be dealt with.
You brought your A game of the tag rifles for the Pathfinders is just dynamite, and you were relentless with that, and that's hard to overcome. Yeah,
well, I know we're talking about plague, but let's just real quick segue. I would rather take the Pathfinders with tag than take a sniper, and a sniper, because when you think about it, the two Pathfinders are 32 points, and a sniper is 30 points with armor. No problem. I rather take two. I will take two guys every day, all day.
Yes, tag teaming with the tags. Yeah,
the tag team back again, right? So, and then, all right. So, what else we got here? So, what do you think, man? What's a build, Jack? What do you think? Give me a build, man. Dr. Simmons and the crew.
Dr. Simmons, I think, begs to have more Type 3As in there. They've taken the Type 2s and put them into the specialist category, so that you're relegated to the Type 3As. And like you said, I would a couple HMGs. They're able to suppress squares, and they're able to. Now their shooting is still balls, but that's just you're playing Plague. You're not expecting. And now I think that with the being able to shoot indirect on the first round, a mortar team would not be if you can pull that as one of your specialists. But I'm not stuck on that. But I wouldn't want to hoard out and do all type 3s, but I think that's kind of where I would start.
All stage 3s?
Close to it. I've done that before and been taught a lesson, and maybe it's just my boyish enthusiasm, my naivete. Much to Rob's glee, I'm sure he'd love to see me. But so, what about yourself?
I kind of agreeing with you. I think a bunch of specialists, some zombies. The thing is, I know when I looked at this, the one thing I thought that the Plague Master would really, really, really be upset with is the fact that you can't take any dogs.
No, that is true, and I would love to be able to, like Rob said, to be able to use your splat on something as cheap as a dog and make it lethal from distance. Just that makes me tingle in my baby bathing suit area. But I would say that would still work with a Type 3A. It's just a slightly more expensive version of what he was saying.
Well, you take the 3A, their movement is 2-3, and one of her things is adrenaline burst, so they can actually do a short action and move 3 squares. That's something special, man.
3 squares and shoot.
Yeah, because their movement is 2-3. Adrenaline burst, you gain a +1 to the first stat. So they're basically sprinting and still being able to shoot.
Yeah.
That's dirty. Yeah.
And say you get 1 or 2 splats every turn, which you don't always get 1 or 2 splats, but it would make it very difficult to kind of ascertain what your opponent's up to if they're able to choose, not roll, but choose what their special treat is.
Yeah, and it's good because it's you do get a splat, but it's splats are usually situational. We were talking about this, that they don't come that often, but they're very situational. But you think about it, you can kind of bend the splat to your situation. So, if you need somebody to move, you give them a jump pack and glide, or give them an AP2 weapon, or give them a speed thing. So you got basically, it's almost like an extra fight, a shoot, and a move. It's really, man, I love her splat. Her splats, it's not the best in the game, but it's tying for second, man.
It's more useful more often, which is very, very handy. Because during that team building exercise, we did have a discussion of someone had a splat that you can use it to get into combat hand to hand. You can use it. If it's always useful, it's better than, say, one that's like, okay, well, this is to, repair someone's armor. Well, then you have to be in the vicinity of that person, or someone has to be wounded. This is more versatile, more useful. And I will gladly field Dr. Simmons for the first time in a long time.
Yeah, you guys I see you got the box there. You got the new model too, right?
Yep.
Nice. And so without us unboxing it comes with obviously the book. It comes with Dr. Simmons, some zombies, and some terrain, right?
Yep, lots of terrain.
Yeah.
Yep, that's it. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it was worth it, man. It's a good, what's it, about $60?
Yeah, something like that. I don't even think it was that much.
Really? Yeah, that's awesome. I gotta get the whole thing, man. More terrain, the better.
I agree.
Yeah,
right,
Jack's
so-
got to build me some security fences.
We saw your tattoo. I don't know if that's what you would showing elder signs here and there.
Security fences for all that terrain. That's what you're going to build.
Oh,
I was actually looking at the price of that, actually. That's what I was going to do. If I dropped my phone.
Yes, that's why Rob is the minister of information here. All right, so what do you think, man? I like this. I like what they're doing. You want to get someone else's opinion?
Sure.
I mean, I gotta get the cage open.
I know who you're talking about. There's only one young man who's ever been caged on our show, and he's
On the show, I guess, technically, yeah.
Andrew, let Georgie out.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, you got to put him in a cage, man, because if you don't, there's going to be all little things all around the cage.
All right, I got him.
All right, Georgie, which
Hey guys, how are you?
say hello to everybody. Speak up.
Hey Rob, how are you?
I'm good, Georgie. How you doing?
Pretty terrible. How are you, Jack?
I'm pretty good, but I need to hear what's wrong, buddy? Turn that frown upside down. Tell us what's wrong.
Well, I went to the store and I asked the guy where the Maw Beast food was, and he said it was in aisle 4. And I told him, "Why are you giving me an attitude?" So they kicked me out.
So
Now I'm sick.
So you have no Maw Beast chow for your pet Maw Beast.
What do I know?
The fact that they actually let a goblin in the store was nice enough as it is.
Yeah, I'm surprised they even have Maw Beast food.
Sounds pretty piss-eyed to me.
Yeah, well, Georgie gets piss-eyed now and then, but what are you gonna do? But what do I know?
No,
Indeed.
what do I know?
All right. So I think Andrew, put it back. Let's go.
All right, come on, Georgie.
No.
Come on, Georgie.
That's not nice.
Well, Georgie's just bringing the whole thing down. So
I expected to hear, some fun adventures of him up doing his goblin thing, and now he's got a hungry Maw Beast withering away.
it's just terrible the fact that nobody gives the poor goblin his respect. But but we are working on a Georgie the Goblin rules, maybe a little house rule here, and then I'm sure Deadzone the podcast will be more than happy to put that in the repertoire of house rules.
Add it to the book. We're going to more mercenary? Is going to be a mercenary of some sort?
Oh, you got to be a leader. You got to be a leader.
Oh.
Now, we haven't really figured out what the splat is, but the name will definitely be What Do I Know? So,
Yeah, what's a good splat?
yeah, so, anybody out there want to help us write George the Goblin rules? As he has to be a leader of the Marauders, and the splat's name is What Do I Know? I was thinking something like every time you roll a good splat and you're about to use it, you got to re-roll it. So it's like, all right, I'm going to take an extra movement, and you re-roll it, and it's an extra shot. It's an extra shoot action. It's like, oh man, I wanted the extra move, not extra shoot, and he's going to go, well, what do I know? Something like that. So
That's pretty mean.
that's pretty mean, but
Yeah, it would have to be something that's, on the aggravating side.
yeah, randomly stupid. Yeah.
You could end up getting a better splat.
True that. So it's like, oh, I didn't want to move. Oh, wait, I'm shooting. That's what I really wanted. Well, what do I know?
Right.
No, I think his splat should be he immediately summons a Maw Beast and puts it on the board.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's just a corpse because it starved to death. Just a dead.
Oh,
Oh.
someone's Maw Beast corpse.
Well, I had to go to aisle 4 and get the damn food, so
Oh.
I told him, don't tell me what to do. And I got it anyway. I always give in to him. He always talks about the cage, but his cage he's got HD TV and an air conditioner, so he shouldn't complain.
It's a palatial cage.
It's the Taj McCage of the ninth wonder of the world here. All right, so let's go on to the let's go. Oh, well, we got a comment here. But what if you re-roll another splat? Oh, that's pretty good too. His splat is to re-roll another splat. You know. All right, so here we go. Arthur's got a good little thing here. Behind the scenes factoid: the Nexus Psi book was 99% Tim Jackson's baby. The Elite Army list started life as one we worked on for the Infestation book, but didn't quite make the page count cut. All right, so basically, the Elite Army lists of the Elite Army list started out as life in Infestation, but
Cool.
so that's kind of cool. So yeah, but you know what though, you guys keep working on that stuff, keep putting it out, man, because we love this stuff. I mean,
We'll keep buying them.
yeah, we'll just keep buying it and keep playing it, man. You know, I think we did the battle report was I took the Forge Father elite list, and Hot Dice, I think he took the Asterion elite list with Nemrath, and first turn I rolled like 2 splats, and those guys came in. It was glorious, you know.
Death from Above, what is that?
Yeah, that was the Fist of the Angry God, which is the greatest, the greatest splat known to man.
Well, I will be the first to admit that I probably grossed quite a bit when the plague wasn't also added in. Of like all the other armies had factions had elite lists, and the plague didn't. And I know I was one that went, come on, just one more. Either do a couple of the elite lists for that particular supplement, or do them all. You can't leave one out. So to say, well, it just didn't make it just for that. Okay, that's understandable, but I can admit when I'm wrong, and I think that revisiting Nexus Psi and sets a precedence that certain locations will keep being revisited and tinkered with, and you know, tickled on the bum a little bit. So I think it was worth the wait. Either way, we got the list, and I like the fact that each of the settings will get a little love every once in a while.
Every 6 months, we need a new book like this, a new world. Just bring a new world, get a new list, new elite lists, like Sergeant Howlett. We're expecting him soon, and just keep pumping them out. We'll keep buying them for sure.
Yeah, but between that and the FAQs, just keep them coming, man, making this game a lot better. I mean, the game is awesome as it is, but the little tweaks that, you know, even the FAQ, and you know, let's kind of dive into this. So we went from the FAQs, and Infestation came out. So there was an FAQ for Infestation, but the rulebook came out, which we had. Then Infestation came out, the FAQ came out, and now Nexus Psi came out. And it just seems that the original rulebook, the second iteration of Deadzone, really made everything better. And now all this other stuff that's coming out is making everything better too. So I just think that the more diversity is good, and being able to use your models that you don't usually have, or maybe this kind of forces you to use models that you don't really take off the shelf and use more often, makes it more of a variety and a more fun game, and more, you know, I kind of like taking a list and then meeting up with somebody and they're taking a list that I had no idea what they would take. You know, let's say they're going to play Plague, and it's like, okay, Plague is awesome, but now you're taking a Plague elite list.
There's a lot of choice, that's for sure.
Yeah. So you don't know what you're coming up against.
Yeah, the more leaders, the better, because that really does change the feel of a list, and adding those extra splats, a lot of fun splats, and it's really fun.
Yeah, I'm digging it, man. The more the better. So Arthur, yeah, you guys just keep coming out with more stuff. All right.
Back to work. Stop listening to us.
Yeah, stop lollygagging. All right, so let's man, I've been chomping at the bit for this one. Now, I'll be remiss to say that if I didn't want to, when they said they were doing an Enforcer Elite Army list, and then they sent us the stuff to play test, and we didn't get Sergeant Howlett, but my number two favorite was Recon. And as you know, I am Recon, because I did play him in the Containment Protocol audio drama. set off by the two competitive, keen minds of the Canadian think tank up there, which is the EZP. So we did that. Okay, Rick, I'm not gonna lie. You're right. Now, if only Veerman got points adjustment or something, I don't want to let the cat out of the bag, but I'm sure I have it on good authority. It is a rumor. Take it with a grain of salt, but they will be fixed. They will be adjusted. So just hold on to your horses, brother. They'll be fixed soon.
Just like Rebs and Asterians were fixed. The Asterians, I love them now.
Yeah, they're ridiculous.
Asterians is awesome. It used to be sad. Now it's just great.
Yeah.
And obviously Rebs have got a lot better.
Oh yeah. Well, you know what? Rebs got better because the new guys made them better. They, other than the Teratons, everybody else is kind of just, Teraton and Rebel Sniper, but the other guys are just, but they are the true horde because you could take 10 troopers for 60 points. So they are the true horde. And that's what I think Veerman has to go. But if we start talking about Veerman, we're going to be here all night.
Yeah.
Have you had your blood pressure medicine first? Because we don't have a medical incident here.
It's called bench press and squatting, man. No blood pressure medicine.
For me,
I am 120. I'm 120 over 80, man. Old man like me, and I got perfect blood pressure. So let's go. Recon unit N32-19. Okay, we'll start fluff-wise. Not afraid of a close-in fight. Strike teams led by Recon unit N32-19. Specialize in reconnaissance in force, bringing enough guns, knives, and grenades to eliminate everything that stands between them and the intel they seek. His splat is called the rope-a-dope. Spend an army special result when an enemy model moves into a cube containing one of your unactivated models. Move an unactivated model in that cube, one cube, as if it had a move command dice plate on it. It does not need to make a test. Leave an enemy occupied cube. The model remains unactivated.
That's pretty fun.
That's pretty good, but we're going to get to that because I got my issue with that. All right, so he's got a speed of 1 to 2, 4+, 6+ fight, 4+ shoot, 3 up survive, which is crazy. Okay, size 1, armor 0. He's a Pathfinder. Tactician 1, and he gets a free recon drone, which we're going to get to, which is just a nice little thing. And, it's funny because a lot of the Pathfinders got the recon drones. I don't know. They look to me like recon drones on their belt, and the one guy's holding it. So I thought that was actually cool. He's got a tag rifle with the tag ability, and it has a holo sight on it. So you get him up. Yeah, man, you get him up. That's a +2 automatically. All right. So basically, he's a sniper. All right. Just no AP, but it's all right. It's all right. Weapons and campaign, none. All right. Now, recon unit entry may be also used as a mercenary for strike teams using other enforcer army lists. So he's a hero. Correct. That's what we call them, heroes. And he can't work for anything else, which makes sense. All right. And he's got he's basically a Pathfinder sergeant with a recon of 3+. I think that's fantastic. I think in all the games I've played, I've only lost 1 recon. And it's because I usually pick the guys with the lowest recons. So I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I think it's great. The only thing is
he better have a 3+. It's right there in his name.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm surprised they didn't give him a 2+, but
that's right.
I digress. All right, so let's talk. He's 30 points. He's 3 victory points. Now you're getting all this really cool stuff, but you're paying through the nose for it.
Yeah, he's pretty expensive, but especially for a Pathfinder. Pathfinders are cheap, generally.
Right. Well, they're not that cheap. They're about the same price as an enforcer.
They're 15 points, which is half his price.
Yeah.
And how much is a drone to buy?
The drone is free.
No, but
you can't just get a drone separate. They don't exist.
No. You have to take recon and then take the drone. Now, if you've gotten the recon model, it comes with this little, it's almost the size of a pinhead, and I've already lost it. It fell and rolled somewhere, and I have no idea where it is. So I gotta make a new one up somewhere. But what
I
happens
think
is
a dread ball would work really good for that.
that's
Put on a
actually
pole.
pretty cool. That's a cool little idea. Yeah. So the recon drone is free. All right, and there's two abilities that come with it, and that's what we'll talk about right now. The recon drone, when deploying your models, in addition to your strike team, deploy one recon drone model in your deployment zone. For the purposes of campaigns, a recon drone is not considered to be part of the Army list. Gains no experience and is never added to the player's Army list. So basically, recon just, remember what was the Alien movie, the first Prometheus? Remember they throw that little thing and it scans? That's kind of what I see this recon drone being.
Yep.
And so what it has is something called non-lethal. The weapon does no direct damage. If the attack is a hit, other effects of the weapon occur as normal. So now what that is the recon drone has it has electroshock, but it has rangefinder 10, which is basically this. You have a 10 range, and it can tag a model, and it's non-lethal. So
it just tags things, which is kind of cool.
Right. So it just tags something, so that'll save you, because tag is a special ability. So like a Pathfinder has to tag someone, and then he could shoot him, or you kind of move, tag the guy, and then someone else shoots him.
Yeah.
With this, you're basically saving one of them.
Right away.
And it's a range 10, not a range 6 like the tag rifle. So that's pretty cool. And he's a scout.
And he's got
scout,
scouts,
constructed beast. Yeah.
And that little electroshock is fun with knockback. That's kind of fun. If you get too close to something, you R2D2s them.
Right. The only thing
Zap.
it's a shoot of 5.
Yeah.
And knockback you'll have to win by potential damage. So you're going to have to roll at least one more hit than the other guy gets.
You'd roll for a fight with that, wouldn't you? Because it's a range F.
No, that's true, but then it's even worse because it's 6.
It's worse, yeah.
But yeah, I guess
Survive's not horrible.
Survive is 4+. He's got scout, he's got construct, and he's a beast. And the little thing, I guess he has he's not vulnerable, so he has two wounds on him.
Yep. And his speed is fast, so that's good.
Yeah. So that's pretty good. And then you know what?
Little guy.
You think about it too. You could break away with a Survivor 4. You got a better chance of breaking away than you do of fighting.
Yeah, just get out of there. Yeah.
Yeah, just get out of Dodge, man.
You could also try to knock people off objectives and stuff if you had to. You run them in there, try to knock them off.
Right. Well, he is a beast, so he can't hold an objective. You can just try to knock.
But he can knock people off. Yeah.
I think the way to use him is to use the rangefinder. I think that's it. Just go around tagging guys.
Yeah, for sure.
And you can even use an extra move, an extra shoot on him, and just do two tags. I think that would be the way to go.
Well, tag would be a special action. So he could if he could see 2 models, he could tag.
Right.
Couldn't he? I wonder. Can you do that?
No, you can't. You can't tag. But the thing is with him,
you can't do the same thing twice. Yeah.
Yeah. The thing is that the rangefinder is actually a shooting ability.
Yeah.
So you're basically, I guess he's shooting the beam at you and then lights you up.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be more of a
extra shoot action. Yeah.
Extra shoot action, so you can get 2 of them going.
Yeah.
So that's not a bad thing, man. So then you can move your Pathfinders into range and just make it work, man. So
it's cool for free. You can't complain.
No, for free it's awesome. I guess the 30 points also encompasses the recon drone.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, so let's talk about rope-a-dope. So basically,
you've got an issue with it. Let's hear it.
Yeah, I did. When we play tested it, this is the one thing I said about it. Because, all right, so this is one of the ones that we talk about that is extremely situational.
Yeah.
So when an enemy model moves into a cube containing one of your unactivated models, move an unactivated model in that cube, one cube, as if it had the move command dice played on it. It does not mean to make a test or leave an enemy in an occupied cube. All right. then your model remains unactivated because you're using a splat.
Out of the way, really. It's just like
right. My thing is this: the splat. He's only tactician 1, so you're getting 1 extra splat. If you're lucky enough to have a splat ready to go, it has to be on a situation where this guy is unactivated.
Yeah. So, or whoever it is unactivated. Yeah.
Correct. So now, say you move a guy up, you do this to that, and the guy jumps in the cube with you. If he's been activated, you can't use the splat. So now, you might have, let's say you roll 3 splats, you just hold them there. That situation may never come up.
Yeah, it's situational.
Right. It's extreme. It's like a situation on top of a situation. So I thought the best thing would be like you could do that anytime anybody comes into combat with you, because I guess Recon's got them so jacked up and so on point. You know, their senses are so good because the Pathfinders are so they're so good that they're like, I mean, they all have a fight of 6, but like to get out of the way, a survival of 4, or to get out of the way for an activated guy, I think would be cool.
Yeah, it should be any model, not just unactivated. You're right.
Right.
Well,
that might be too powerful, but
let's try and break the rule. What's a best case scenario is that he piles into a square with, say, 3 other guys that are unactivated. What can we do? What can make it just? There's got to be something like Can we move?
Because the thing is, you can get out of the way and then run into combat with somebody else, and you'd get the charge in with a free attack on the other guy's turn.
Mm-hmm. So you're saying that you could use it for a free move into combat and a strike on someone else with that +1 charge.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see a problem. That it's like you say, it's so situational that even if he is activated, I don't think that's an issue. It would be such a rare thing that you'd have the splat while someone's attacking you. Would you keep that splat just in case that ever happened, kind of thing? It also matters what army you're fighting. Against wars, that would never happen probably, or against certain shooting armies, you're never going to get attacked anyway. So,
right. But here's the thing, though. Let's say, like you're saying, he's unactivated. He runs out of the cube. He comes back and he attacks him. He's getting probably just the 1 dice for moving in because they're size 1. If you're fighting a size 2 or size 3, you're not gonna get the extra dice. You're not gonna be bigger than anybody, but you're fighting on a 6+.
Well, for him, but if you did it on one of your other guys, well, they all fight on 6 anyways, I think. But it doesn't have rope-a-dope's not just on him, is it? It's on anybody.
And anybody, yeah. And then even the assault enforcer fights on a 5.
Yeah, that's their best fighter.
Right.
So it's not so much, yeah.
Assault enforcer.
Mostly just get out of the way.
Assault enforcer is 5.54.
I guess you jump out of the way and then you could shoot the guy that charged you. I guess that's what you do, right? Clear shot on a guy that just charged you and you never got hit. So you might do it on purpose, like sit there with an unactivated. It's just like, come on, come get me, so I can just move and shoot you. Yeah, I guess it's a trap. It's kind of like setting a trap.
Yeah, there's got to be something that you could do with it, like if you keep that in your holster to make that splat. Like, because on paper it's like, but there's got to be something that if you really, you might take a little work, but like you said, make them come out of. Make one of the models come out of cover for hand-to-hand in a charge and then just out of the way.
It'd actually be good if you have your sniper and you're sitting there with a sniper and you're got like Veerman or someone charging you. He charges you, you just deke out of the way. Next turn, you get a clear shot on that. Whoever just charged you is dead because you got a clear shot with the sniper.
Mm-hmm. Or, if the guy, you jump out of the way, and you've been unactivated or activated or unactivated. Let's say you were activated, jump out of the way, and then next turn you got to make sure you either jump back into combat with him or you're going to get shot.
Yeah, that's right. You have to keep going at him for sure.
So now Arthur's chiming in here. He says, "Yeah, the thinking was that number one, making it any model would be frustrating for the opposing player and less fun. And number 2, having a splat on the reserve forces the opponent to play a kind of waiting game, wanting to pounce on a model on a key cue, but knowing that if they do, the target model will just bounce away and open up the charger on the next activation. And then you're meant to declare the action when you start the action. So, and then some. Rick is asking, when does the trigger model decide if it's a sprinting or moving? Could it wait to see if you rope a dope and then continue the move? And it says you're meant to declare the action when you start the action.
Yeah,
okay.
You have to say it's move and then sprint. But for that, he's saying it's frustrating. Yeah, try playing a Marauder with their goddamn thing stealing your dice. That's frustrating.
Yes.
Him just getting out of your way, that's not as frustrating as, hey, I got this dice. No, you don't. That's mine now. You mother.
And I'm going to use it. Thank you for that.
Yeah, that's right. I'm not just stealing it. I'm going to use it. Yeah. So frustrating is, yeah, we got some other frustrated guys out there.
Well, what about the Asterian that's like, you know, all right, and the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take away that splat. What?
Yeah. Because they yoink that from me?
Yeah, they could take away anything. They just can't use it. But they could
steal it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are frustrating. So you can't complain about other armies have frustrating models. Why can't he?
But as splats go, it's a pretty it fits the narrative of the the fluff, the flavor of that model. That fits it very well. And I think
get out of the way quick and
it as just a tactic to delay. Like, I'm not going to charge in because I know you got that splat, and you look at him like, come on, yeah. I can see it doesn't need. Not every splat needs to be the most.
He's so good without the splat.
Yeah,
he doesn't need that splat.
Yeah. The splat's a little extra. That's the little cherry.
So it's almost better to use him as a merc, not so much as a leader. He's almost better as being a hero.
Mm. Yeah.
Like that splat's like, okay, that's fine. And the Recon 3 Plus is really nice. But like you say, Tactician 1, and only get in the splat situational, he might be better to have another leader and just use him as a merc.
But then you think about it, he's 30 points and 3 VPs.
Yeah, but he's pretty tough, and he brings that recon. If you got a bunch of Pathfinders and you have him plus a Pathfinder Sergeant, that might be a nice army.
Right, with the recon drone, yeah, that might not be bad.
Yeah, so you're tagging everybody. The leader's tagging people. Like, everybody's getting +1 dice every time you shoot anybody on the board. That's pretty nice.
Yeah, and he's got a 3+ survive, too. That doesn't hurt.
Yeah. And it shoots 4. That's a nice shooting 4 is pretty nice.
Yeah, I think that the shooting 4 basically across the board for the enforcers is pretty decent.
Like, how much does the enforcer sniper cost? Because I think he's 24 or something like that. So he's only 6 more points than enforcer sniper. That's pretty good.
No, enforcer sniper is 30 points.
Is he 30 points? There you go. I take this guy I take him every time over enforcer sniper.
Yeah, absolutely. But then again, the enforcer sniper 4 up and he has armor 1. So, you know, there is.
Yeah.
They're worth the same, but like with all the other abilities you get and all the cool, you know, all the cool stuff is.
If you're using a Pathfinder army, this guy's better than the enforcer sniper because you get that recon drawing.
Right.
But you can only take 1, right? Because he's going to be unique as a merc. So.
Yeah.
Whereas sniper, you could take a few if you could afford it.
Yeah, but that's a hefty, you know. And then also you gotta. Well, you really can't because if you're taking either Pathfinders or as troops, let's say you take the Pathfinders and you want to take a bunch of 30-point models. Pathfinders are 15 and enforcers are 16. So,
yeah,
you know, and now his list is a little different, where it's almost saying like you gotta take Pathfinders, and here's what. The recon drone actually is a troop, so you're getting 1 free specialist, which is nice.
Oh yeah,
right?
Does that count? Does that work that way?
Well, it says Type T, right? Am I right?
But it says recon drone is not considered part of the army list, so I don't think that'll count towards your cost.
Right.
It should have a type. Really.
In the book, does it have a type?
It does say Type T, yes. But but then it says in the description it doesn't count, so. It almost shouldn't have a type. It causes confusion.
Well, for the purpose of campaigns, the recon drone is not considered to be part of the Army list. Gains no experience is never added to the player's Army roster. So, if you're doing just regular games and you bring a recon drone, he's a...
Well, if there's only someone from the rules committee listening, does he count towards your troop tax or not?
Yes. Arthur, does it count as
only someone listening?
It says, yeah, just like the Piper, you don't get free unlocks for rat swarms from the Piper. Yeah, sorry, Coach, no free unlock for the drone. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Because he doesn't come on the board until you're deploying. He doesn't exist until you deploy.
So basically, the Type T.
So you shouldn't have a type. You should just say Type none. Like you should have just a dash there, just to avoid confusion.
So instead of Type T, it's a Type Po.
That's right.
Jack, you see what I did there?
No.
No. Okay.
He's being difficult.
He's being difficult. He's being snooty now. I know he.
Assault Force as a specialist. What the?
All right. Yeah. No, hold on. We're getting to it. So you take the only troops you can take is a Pathfinder. Pathfinder specialist is a specialist, obviously, but the Assault Enforcer is a specialist.
Yep. It's kind of like the stage 2 for the plague list.
Right.
It's just one more reason never to take. What's that, Jack?
You can still take them, but they want the Army list to have a certain flavor, so you can still take them, but we prefer when you field this guy that this is kind of the makeup, because that's the way the fluff's going to be.
Mm. Yeah, it seems like the elite lists are less of take what you want and more of like, all right, well, there's a certain build you're going to follow, and you have a little slight deviation in that build, but not too much.
Right. And probably because there's going to be they don't want so much overlap between, say, a recon army list, elite army list, and say this Howlet army list. And so when you take the Howlet army list, and you've got a lot of Assault Enforcers and a lot of really gung-ho hand-to-hand, that's the way the list's going to look, and that's what they want, rather than I'm taking Sergeant Howlet and I'm going to take the best list I possibly can, taking from it's going to be Howlet, and then my troops are going to be Pathfinders, because then that's just a regular army list.
Mm-hmm. All right, so now Tim is on board, so now we could lambast Tim with all this good stuff. Because Tim is the guy. 99% of this book is him. So let's go. So, like you said, Pathfinder Specialist, Assault Enforcer. You could take it as an Enforcer Engineer as a specialist, Dog Drone, which is a specialist anyway, and then you could take a Jet Bike. So those are your things. Now you have access to ammo, AP ammo, Defender Shields, Frag Grenades, Medipacks, Sentry Guns, Smoke Grenades, the Mono Wheel, and a Thermal Mine. So that's what you can get. So basically the build is, I think taking a bunch of Pathfinders, I don't know, man, Assault Enforcers. My thing was Tim, and Tim is on, now Tim is here, and he's going to hear it again. My biggest issue with this army, other than, I really like this. I ran this a few times, and I really like it. I mean, Recon is a beast, taking the Pathfinders, just tagging them up and stuff. I mean, I like that whole thing. I love taking the Pathfinder Sergeant and the Pathfinders. My thing is, other than the Enforcer Jet Bike, there's really no access to AP in this army. Other than AP ammo, which is 4 points, but it's rare. In a 200-point game, you're only allowed to take 2 of those. You could take some Defender Shields and stuff. But the thing is there's really no access to AP. So if you're going against stuff with AP, some Striders or some the suits or Teratons and things like that, you're gonna really have to bog them down with weight of fire, and not weight of fire. I mean by that dice wise, not the rule weight of fire. Just you want to get yourself in a position where you're getting a tag rifle level above. Hopefully you see a whole thing. Maybe getting 4 extra dice for that. You can see the whole model, but there's really no AP in this army. at all. Other
If
than,
you're
like I
rolling
said,
your stock, if you're rolling your stock 3 dice, you're in a world of hurt. If you
yes,
get some elevation, you get some
You got a tag.
yeah, and then you get it wounded. Okay, now you get, that's the way to do it. You have to make it work in your favor.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure. You're gonna have to get a lot of dice rolling.
yeah. I mean, that's the way. That seems the way the Pathfinders play. Their MO is just shooting a lot. Getting yourself in a position, in an advantageous position to get those shots off. The only thing is, with a 4-up save, you're pretty good, but with no armor, it's tough to hold objectives.
Yeah, objectives are always hard, but these guys are kind of more killy anyway, so they're trying to kill everyone.
Right. So it's basically you're trying to wipe out everything as opposed to sitting on an objective. Yeah,
they don't have to stand around too much.
Yeah, Tim is even saying that building up the dice pool is a major thing for this group. But that's just Pathfinders in general.
Yeah.
With
I like that better because it works against everyone. It doesn't just work against – like AP is only against good guys with armor. If you're going against the Plague or against Veerman and stuff, it's useless. So I love extra dice is way better than AP against certain armies, that's for sure.
Right. Right. But then again, like if you go against another Enforcer army or Forge Fathers or even the Astarians, everybody's got armor.
Yeah, but they're usually vulnerable, most of those guys, except for the
right. So you just got to bog them down with well, listen, all right. So also too, guys, the YouTube is a little bit behind. We're a few seconds behind, so we don't get to the things. So Tim is saying, I remember one of the games I played Tyler. He two-shot my Strider. He admittedly rolled a lot of 8s. All right, I'm going to let you know right now. Tyler's dice are loaded because I've never seen anybody roll more freaking 8s than Tyler. So that is an anomaly in the universe, Tim. And the fact that happened is just because he's got those loaded dice. He's got the thing where he bakes them and he puts the 8s on top and stuff. It's not fun. So don't bring.
That's not natural.
It's not natural. So, and I've discussed this with him many a time, but I've never seen so many freaking 8s in my life.
I don't know, Coach. You roll a lot of 8s too.
No, that's not true. Only on recon. Or
your dice haven't been as hot as they used to be. They used to be like.
Yeah, they used to be a lot better now. I don't know.
You're on a rut.
But I don't know if I should show that anymore because people are getting upset with that. But I digress.
Yep. Just show a blank wall.
Yeah. The thing is, I really do like this list, man. I really like recon. I like it. It's just 30 points is hefty.
The Pathfinders are the go-to troop now for the Enforcers anyways. If you're going to make an Enforcer list, it's not going to be all – it's not going to be – you're not making just Peacekeepers. You're not making just the Enforcers. The Pathfinders are, like, too good to pass. They're like the Kalishi of the Enforcer list. So,
that's true.
So you gotta roll with that and say you already have a fantastic base troop. If you can't make that work, then then to have a leader who's all like pro Pathfinder, it sounds delightful for anyone who's a Plague player or having played Veerman for the last I don't know how long I've been playing Veerman. Just to me, it's like mashing up Skittles and bacon bits and eating a bowl full of it sitting on top of a rainbow. It sounds so delightful.
I don't know. That made my back teeth hurt when you said that. But
you
know what?
You're doing it. They call it the Rocky Road. It's yeah.
No, I think that's something else.
Oh, easy there, easy. Keep this PG.
Hey,
I meant ice cream. What are you talking about? Sicko.
If Georgie was around, I would describe exactly what I thought you were talking about. I don't. We can't do that.
When we're live, George, you can't jump in the middle of that. Says, oh no. I do love cursing on the podcast that Georgie jumps in. That's one of my. It's just one of the greatest moments. I'm listening to in my car, and I know it's like when we talk about the Chovar psychic, and I just said, yeah, he looks like, oh no, and I rewind it a few times. And just it's just perfect. You're like, all right, guys, enough of that. All right, that's enough.
Yeah, I love it as editing too. It's great.
Oh,
thanks, Georgie.
No, come on, that's gold. That's gold, Jerry. That's gold.
Gold. Solid gold. So, how about them new guys in here? New specialists for the plague there. We got the Murder Birds and Bursters, Jack. You want to sing your song?
An impromptu, like an acoustic set. Do you want me to?
Yeah, that's right. Get your guitar out, play acoustic version of Murder Birds and Bursters.
Cool. I'll just get the light.
Wait. Do you have the auto tune?
I don't need it. That was all me. That was 100% just vocal magic.
Oh, vocal magic. There was a little echo though. I sensed a little echo.
No, that was just the bacon.
Natural.
That's all that was.
All right. So the one last thing I want to say about this list is, like you were saying about the troops, I think the enforcers, assault enforcers, even the peacekeepers are support for the Pathfinders.
They round out the Pathfinders now. They went from the core to now I need a little of this or I need a little of that to round out my Pathfinder army. There's nothing wrong with that. I think that is the enforcers' flavor now. Rather than just being stormtroopers in identical armor, I think it's...
But I like stormtroopers in identical armor. I don't want to play Pathfinders.
I know you're a fascist at heart, and that is you.
That's why I picked the enforcers originally.
That's you wanted peacekeepers just to stomp. Hey, that's a Yindish chomp.
Yeah,
hey, You just wanted, but it's not to be.
Not right now, no.
No, Pathfinders are a more fun and better stock troop, and then to have, say, the an enforcer with the flamer, and then maybe a peacekeeper for like a peacekeeper captain running the show or something with some armor. But yeah, the Pathfinder at least a couple. Get those tag rifles going.
Like you said, they're the new Kalishi.
Yeah, they're the Kalishi of the Pathfinder or of the enforcers, anyways.
I don't know, man. Those Kalishi are just pound for pound.
They are better.
They are the best troop on this in this game, man. Pound for pound, they are phenomenally awesome.
Yeah, we're just saying the Kalishi as in must take, but yes, the Kalishi are the best troops in the game.
No, you if you're running a Sterns, you got to take your four or five Kalishi, and then you unload with those. Those drones are awesome.
That's it. Kalishi and drones. That's it.
And I'll tell you what, I somebody posted a picture of it. I don't know if they bought the booster set or whatever, but the what's the indirect one called?
Pulse Bombard?
The Pulse Bombard. The new one has the thing, it's kind of like this, and it has the piece coming out. It looks almost like a mortar. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's different? Yeah.
Jack. I'm not here to fulfill your fantasies, Jack. Just let that go. So basically, it looked like it was mounted on the drone with the mortar.
Did he modify it, or was it like that?
No. I don't know if the guy did it like that or whatever, but
he modeled.
It was
instead of being at a 90-degree angle from the ground, he modeled it at a 45 to make it look like it was a mortar.
No, I think it was a completely different model.
I don't know,
because he had the fission beamer and he had the other thing, and it was on Deadzone Fanatics. Some guy painted it up.
I wish they did that, but I don't know.
I would like to see that.
Look pretty sweet.
Yeah, because right now the you can tell which on the drone is the shield. Obviously, it's got the little Viking horned helmet there. But the difference between the pulse bombard and the fusion cannon is literally one's a bit longer than the other. They have basically the same aesthetic.
Right.
So really, in order to differentiate between the two of them, to have the pulse bombard up at a 45-degree angle, you can immediately look and go, oh, that's what it is, and you'd know which one's which. Yeah, that's kind of brilliant.
That's what they still have on the site. The regular one.
Right.
And then there's the longer one, which is, I assume, the other one, right? The longer barrel.
Right.
But
that's the only two they have on the site. So you must have modified that. That's such a good idea. And if I had any more drones to do, I would do that for sure. I think we painted all our drones. Or do we have extras, Jack? Do we have some drones?
I have two that are primed here.
Chop them up.
Yeah, I will get out the I will get out my tools, and
that might be. You might have to take a shield drone, cut off the helmet, cut off the Viking helmets, and then stick a barrel in it somewhere.
Yeah.
If I was thinking, because I know we've magnetized most of ours enough that you could make any combination you really wanted to. But these, I think, knowing how good the pulse bombard is, I think I just crammed 2 pulse bombards on there as it is anyways. Because that really is.
You just need extra tops for the magnets.
The opening salvo of the Asterians, if being able to reach the just to reach across the board and to a deployment zone, and having any less than 1 pulse bombard, should have 2. Just to, it's devastating. It is devastating.
Yeah, that's
beauty.
And you know what's the thing too. Those are one of those the little what the hell is it? The things that got better with version 2, where originally you would deploy and then you would have the pulse bombard, but it wouldn't be able to go to a second round. So you would be able to, like rats or like ants, try to hide and stuff, and get yourself situated to get away from that. Now you're either watching out for it, or you got to take it out with your own indirect stuff, which is crazy.
If you see he's feeling it, you can't go, okay, I'm going to put 4 guys in this square.
Right.
Yeah.
And if there's any overhang, it doesn't matter. I would like to move some guys up here. No, the first thing you do is you go, everyone under this overhang here, and whoever can't fit under there is spread out, 1 here, 1 there, 1 there. It really affects your deployment, and heaven forbid you get one of the ones where you're stuck all in the corner somewhere and the terrain's making it impossible for you. That first round's a nightmare.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm curious to see the tournament at the Deadzone, what's going to happen with that. Because that might really affect what the boards look like, or change the rule for the tournament.
Don't change nothing, man. You know what? Changing rules suck. The rules are rules, man. Leave them the way they are. You know what? Guy brings 2 of those legally on a legal list. You got to deal with it, man.
Yeah.
Spread your crap out, or hopefully, I know the rule was you're not allowed to put the crates in your deployment zone, but you could put terrain in your deployment zone. Therefore, you can move it around as much as you want. So
well, it matters how you do terrain. If you place it yourself, like how they do it in the tournament, does each person get to place the terrain, or is it set up pre-set up? Or
the way it was last time at Adepticon was just you kind of just show up, and it's there. So you win. You got to win the recon roll. It's important to win the recon roll. So I was like, all right, I'm going to take this side, and then
Yep, for sure. That's interesting.
It is an improvement, I think, to be able to shoot an indirect in the first round. I think because the way it was established before was both teams sort of just showed up and you weren't prepared. Like you didn't have a mortar set up. You didn't have the time to fire these weapons. But I think now it's assumed that, okay, you've been active in this area. This is part of a bigger undertaking, and yes, you do have a mortar set up, and you do have the ability. You do know where the enemy is, and you're able to shoot. I think it makes the games a little more bloody in the first round. But
it definitely softens up some teams in the first round.
Oh well, yeah. I had Veerman pulverized.
Well, yeah, like that battle report with High Dice, man. He just shot that mortar at the Veerman, and like, you know, any two that he shot at, like there was the first round, there was 2 in a cube and gone. There was the stalkers. Yeah. There's nothing you can do with a 5-up save, and then they get thrown, and it's tough to deal with.
Yep. Huh?
Yep.
All right. So Rick is saying, I think your dice board coverage ratio is A-OK. With as much terrain as on the board, you need a separate roll space. Yeah, that's what when we do the bat reps, we have a side thing. I think it's better when I roll the dice on the side instead of just roll. You know, it's hard too when you're looking through the camera and you roll the dice and they go all over the place. I like it better with a fixed position.
Oh no, that's much better. You have to see where the dice land. Otherwise, half the time you can't see where they are, and you don't know actually what you rolled.
So let me ask your opinion, guys. Jack, Rob, and then anybody watching. Do you like to see the dice roll? I mean, every time I roll, when I watch a bat rep on anybody else, when Tyler does it, or even like watching a 40K bat rep or X-Wing or any other game that you're into, I like to watch the dice rolls just for the simple fact that the dice roll is what kind of fuels the game. You know, there's tactics involved, and then sometimes the best tactics go out the window when you roll 4 1s.
Yep, or 4 8s, yeah.
Yeah.
And also, I like the way you do it because you explain what the dice. Okay, this is for this. This is for this is because I charge. This is so it helps new players so they understand how to play the game. You explain it every time you do it. So just over repetition, people just watching your bat reps learn to play the game.
Right.
That's
good.
That's exactly. If you're an experienced player and you roll and someone goes, "Oh no, I got past your armor," you don't need to show the dice. Okay, you just speeding along. But when you line dice on each side, well, these two take this out, this takes this out, this, and you move down. Oh, that leaves 2 dice. You see that enough times, even in a couple bat reps, and you really start to see how effective stuff is. That's what I get from it. When I see you start peeling dice away, and it's like, oh, I never really realized how many dice you get from doing this. So I think it's virtually impossible to do a bat rep with Deadzone's rule and not show the dice. I think it's pretty hand in hand. All I would do is turn that dice tray into ad space. You want just put a little piece of something under there for family gamers, and then all of a sudden, Adidas. Okay, well, we're rolling our dice, and but that's just me. I'm just a hooler.
Yeah, got to make some money.
Oh, I got my friend James checking in from Texas over here, saying that he loving them dice rolls with animations to show exactly what they roll. Well, we're not at animations yet, but I'll tell you what, man. Editing. Here's the thing: when you're doing a battle report, all those animations, man, that's a lot of work. And I want to pull back the curtain a little bit. We don't get paid for doing this stuff. It's for a hobby. It's for fun. So, like, if you're like being a dick, then that's okay. But I don't know what to say, man.
Yeah, it's like the show Tabletop, where they got millions of dollars on a Kickstarter to do their shows with the animations and everything. It costs some money to pay someone to do that full time.
All right. So. All right, Arthur's getting us back on track because once in a while we go off on a tangent. Not often, but once in a while. All right, Arthur, what do you guys think of the campaigns in the Nexus Psi book? Awesome. I love them. They are plague heavy, but I think they're really, really cool. I really like the one where the name escapes me. Maybe Rob, you could help me out with it. The one where they're guarding the landing pad, and they're basically camped out on the landing pad, and the plague are coming all the way across the board. And you basically got to pick them off, and then the plague there's charges laid in four corners, and they got to blow up the landing pad. It's really a cinematic. It's really a cinematic thing, and I want to do that in a battle report. I want to do that as a campaign, but I'm waiting. I want to get the Mantic, the landing pad, and put a Hornet on it or something like that. Or I mean, I got some 40K stuff that I could use in place of that. But I really like that stuff. I mean, we play tested all of them, and I made a few suggestions. Hopefully, they're in there. But you know what I mean? I really, that was my favorite one.
Is it? Yeah, it's the message received. You're trying to prevent the tower from being destroyed. That one.
Yes. Well, Rob, you want to go over the missions real quick, and then we can give our opinion on each one.
Well, to be honest, Rob and I didn't play through the campaign. We did the zombie rules. We went through
zombies.
Each of us went through I think it's 4 scenarios. We did it twice. We zombied the hell out of that book. So we didn't do any of the campaign.
All right. So why don't you guys talk about the zombie rules? Let's do that, since that's what you guys did, because I did the campaign.
Yeah, the zombies. We had a lot of fun. It's fun killing zombies. What can you say? And it's mostly solo.
Again, we made some suggestions, but we haven't done our unboxing, so I haven't even looked to see what we got for playtesting was basically the original zombie rules. Like it was, they had removed the skills involved with zombies. The zombies had some skills, and obviously in Deadzone they're removing, they were getting rid of some of the stuff. And but it was if you played the zombie rules before, it was the same thing where there was a priority list of, okay, someone shoots, well, that's the zombies will react to that more than, say, someone who moves, and then someone who. So yeah, and it was fun. It had a campaign scenario feel to it, but it was random zombies you were killing.
Now, in version 1, there was a lot more chance of you getting hoarded out. Is it the same way here? Like, if you let your guard down, or because they use that artificial stupidity, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
They follow us.
Spawn.
The spawning was different in the version we had. That didn't lend itself to. In the first one, it was more of a random situation. The spawning was different to a degree, and we quickly learned which weapons were best at killing zombies. But the bulk of it was it could get out of hand. There was a time when if you let 2 or 3 of them get on you, it didn't matter if you started to really. If you're like, I got this, 2 or 3 zombies, and it starts to make a difference.
Yeah, for sure. That horde ability really adds up. But it's fun. It's fun. Always fun, especially with the enforcers. I think it worked really well with the Pathfinders. That was a fun campaign. I think we played with Plague versus zombies. Wasn't it Plague? I think so. And they kind of decimated.
Enforcers.
Plague were pretty tough against zombies. They didn't give them a chance. But the enforcers, it was a fun fight.
Now, what about because we've also lost the chaining ability in version 2? Did that come into play? Because I know playing it in version 1, killing zombies, one guy can kill 3 zombies in a row.
Yeah.
But what about now without the
No, yeah, you're killing a lot less.
Yeah.
The key is to use items that hit a whole square, like flamethrowers or grenades. So you really wipe them out in large groups. But yeah, one-on-one. Once they get up to you, you're in trouble. You have to kill them before they get to you. That's the key.
And I think the last campaign was we had to get to the top of a structure, we had to get to a certain location, and it was an extraction team that would come in, and you had to kill certain. Someone had to be up there for a certain amount of time, and it's because the zombies come in random locations, and they just the way the terrain was. It was a struggle. There was Teratons being getting on the receiving end of quite a beating. So the plague being hand to hand with a lot of the troops made it a lot worse.
Mm-hmm.
But anytime that you had to move, the zombies that's in trouble. If you had to go somewhere, if you were able to stand your ground and just shoot them as they came to you, it was much easier. The moment you had to go somewhere, all of a sudden you had to get through a bunch of zombies and they'd start hoarding up on you. That's a lot harder. So any of the ones you had to move, which was much more difficult. If you're just standing there and you're back to back, just blasting them as they come to you, that was much easier.
So yeah,
but yeah, I remember. Yeah,
I'll be interested to see what the final rule set is, and if there was changes, what was changed and whatnot. But I would never do it playing with the Veermen.
Well, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, the zombie rule with the Veermen.
They just get wiped out. That'd be fun. Zombies against Veermen, it might be a fair fight.
That's zombies hit on a 4-up and they're vulnerable, so that might be actually the Veermen might be able to hang with them.
Yeah, that's what I mean, because the Veermen fight on 4s too for the stalkers, but they don't hoard. That's the difference. You get a couple of zombies in there, that's going to change the tide pretty quick.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things that made a difference between the first iteration and this new one is zombies themselves. The core zombie has changed between the two, version 1 versus version 2, and they're easier to deal with now. They're not the just horror show that they were the first.
Yeah.
When you were playing that before, they were monsters. Now they're manageable.
So now Tim is chiming in. He says, I also built it so that they wouldn't get ridiculous, though. It's built with its own feedback loop. The fewer actions you make or can make, the fewer actions the zombies get, and the less likely it is that more will spawn.
And that's, yeah.
You kind of have to manage them that way, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the Pathfinders were very good at that. The Enforcers were very, very good at that. Not moving, staying, just taking the shots they had to. But it was campaign style where the scenarios made you do certain stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I like how you whoever survived the last battle go to the next one, so you're always getting a little depleted. The moment you lose one guy, you're like, oh no, that's one less guy I get to use the next time. Like that's fun that way too.
I hope that is still in there because that was the fun part. I think I cakewalked the first one somehow. Like it was some luck of the draw. I think I dropped I flamethrowered a group or something like that, and I was able to just get in and I was OP more than I should have been, and it made for really good. It made for good battles and stuff. And there is, I don't know if it's still in there either, but what was it called, Rob, where you were able to hard rules or advanced rules or something? And it was basically, you need more zombies? You're feeling saucy? Well, there you go. And it doubled the zombies, or it was something like.
Yeah, I don't know if that's in here anymore. Where it was like, you could, hey, you want a little extra challenge? Now you got to do this.
Challenge or something, or experience, advanced or something. There was something there where there was like, oh, well, you feel.
Yeah, special rules. They have special rules and stuff, yeah.
And that was interesting because I had cakewalked the first one, and we were kind of playing it 2-man where the other guy was playing the other. And Rob goes, yeah, that was a good job. You really excelled there. That was fantastic. And your reward is I'm going to initiate this. And he just doubled the zombies just to put me back in my place. Knock me off.
Challenge scenarios are in there. You can have challenge scenarios where it's a little tougher. It's fun.
Yeah, the challenge. I do like the challenge scenarios. Even in Infestation, it's like, okay, you did this. It was pretty good. You had a good time. Now we're really going to make it funky now.
Fun. crank it up a bit.
Now, Rob, is it in here? I don't know if it's in here. You got to double check. Or Tim, just chime in with this one. What I really liked in Infestation was the environmental factors, where you'd roll a dice and there's like an earthquake or a mine shaft goes, or there was one where a wind comes across, and if you're in the path of the wind, you get blasted by like hurricane winds, and he throws you against the thing, or he'll knock you off a building or stuff like that.
I don't think it has those conditions. I think that was the infestation thing, because that planet's falling apart, so they added that to that one, which is cool.
Yeah. That is
a neat little thing. Yeah, they should do that for more planets they go to add like either a snow planet where you get blizzards or something, frostbite, and that'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, the thing is, when we go to Adepticon, my main thing is I want to get a bunch of terrain to make like Ice Station Zero, Polar Station Zero, and I'm gonna probably get one of the mats by Mars, and just do a whole polar thing, and then I don't know. I have in my mind Sergeant Howlett's what I want to do when his stuff comes out. I'm just chomping at the bit. It's like I got all the guys there. I didn't build them yet, like we said before, but you know what?
Committee guys, make Coach Happy put out Sergeant Howlett's rules so he can build them.
Yeah, I'm done. The poor thing. I mean, I already got one of them, but I want to change the color scheme. But I was thinking, like, I did my Desert Enforcers, and now I want to do kind of maybe like a Snow Enforcer, but have a whole board dedicated to that, and just kind of do that. You know what I'm saying?
Hey-o.
Oh, it is.
Oh, there he is. Yeah. Oh, hey, how's it going? Oh, yeah. He's gone.
Listen, when he comes back, just say like, all right, we're wrapping up the show, and here we go. All right, guys. So thanks for tuning in, and
bye, everybody.
Hey.
Oh, let's go again.
Yeah.
Tyler, what happened? It's those 8s. He rolls the 8s. He doesn't get on the internet.
I'm telling
That's
you,
right.
For me to get on, it kept giving me a 203 error, kicking me off, and it said.
Yeah, that's what keeps happening to me. Hopefully, it doesn't happen again.
Third time's a charm.
So far,
Still here.
There you go.
Yay.
Still here.
There you go.
Can't get rid of me.
Oh, man. You just missed a cavalcade of stuff. We actually got 5 people watching. It's awesome.
That's impossible.
Yeah,
5?
We're talking about Nexus Psi right now, so we're into the campaign stuff.
Sweet. All right.
So here we go. Tim is he's telling us, unfortunately, there wasn't enough room to fit the environmental rules into this book. Sorry, guys. That's all right, because you know what? I'll just take the ones from Infestation and throw them in there as a like a house rule. So that's I mean, I guess we could use that on Nexus Psi too. Arthur's saying that if they don't do it yet, I'm going to have an aneurysm with not having Howlett rules, which is no, it's not that. I'm just going to come to your country and choke you. So just get it done. All right.
It's a long way to travel. Choke someone.
Also, a little earlier, Tim was saying that Tyler killed one of his Striders with some Pathfinder shooting because he rolled a lot of 8s. And I told him that...
No. That's completely incorrect. It was one Pathfinder, and he was a badass.
Okay. And how many 8s did you roll?
And then just a stupid amount. I got it down from full health down to one wound, and then I did a command action and got to shoot it again, and then I killed it. So a lot of 8s, like a ridiculous amount of 8s.
So basically par for the course for you with all your freaking 8s all the time. So
it's not just me, by the way.
I
have video evidence of all of my opponents kicking my ass too. So
do they use your dice? Is that the question? Is this the dice that are?
Well, I use the colored dice every time, and then they use the white dice, and they seem to go back and forth. So it's whatever I'm doing to all the dice that's great.
Yeah. Well, whatever, because when you probably baked them and did the thing, where you bake them and then they only come up on that side. So,
No, only microwaves. Baking is so old school.
Oh, all right, sorry.
Hey, Grandpa, get with the times. I use my iTunes to do it.
This is the space.
I have an app.
The space. What is that? This is the space. It's a space oven, man. It's a space oven.
Yeah, that's right.
How do you heat something without fire? This is blasphemy.
He's a witch.
Actually, I have a convection oven, which is much healthier for you. So
Did you just say you have a convection?
oven, correct.
A confession oven?
A convection, not conception.
We know. We're just messing with you, Coach.
Now he's saying convection with conviction.
Correct.
A conception.
And Jack, I don't have one. I have 3 of them. So
Now we have gone off topic. I don't know what happened. We are
Were we on topic? I joined while we were already off topic.
no,
Yeah.
we've been on topic. You come here and you screw the whole freaking gum up the works.
It's all your fault.
All
I
right,
do.
so mission 1 was called First Contact, and victory conditions: when there are no more strike team models left on the mat, the game ends. At least one strike team member escaped to raise the alarm. Then the battle or victory is lost. You got a challenge scenario and everything. You got a bunch of zombies on the list. Cool. Members of the strike team may not leave the deployment zone until they has destroyed at least 4 zombies. You basically got to surrounded by zombies. You got to get off. Mission, man. I really like that mission. Mission 2 is the Beacon of Hope. Victory. When you're a no more strike team. What's that?
Is that a search and find kind of thing? Like you have to find the beacon thing? I forgot. That's how it used to be. Okay. I'm still waiting on my book.
Victory condition: when there are no more strike team models on the mat, if a player managed to send their message, i.e. control the queue containing 3 victory points tracking token at the end of at least one round, the battle is victory. So I like that one too, man. But that was hard, man. That was hard to get that going. So all right, later, Arthur. Number 3, slip the noose. That was the one where all strike team models will start the game in the blue deployment zone. When there are no more strike team models left on the mat, the game ends. Strike team models may leave the mat from any of the yellow cubes indicated on the mat, and any of the strike team models have escaped, and the battle is a victory. If the strike team was wiped out, then the escape has failed and the campaign ends in a loss. Okay.
You just got to run across the whole board.
Yeah, you got to go across the whole board. But there's the thing is, if you look at it, there's Z's all over the place where you put the zombies and stuff. So
it's
that
like a football play. You got to dodge around them.
Yeah, and then the trickiest thing with that is the longer you stay back shooting, the more zombies are just gonna pile up. So you gotta burst through right away. Otherwise, you're screwed.
Or draw them off with somebody else.
Yeah,
And pull them over to one
I've
side.
had an epic sacrifice made a couple games where some guy just has to hang out in the corner and just try to get him to.
That's what the jet bikes were great for that. They just draw them over to one side, and they're so fast they can kind of get out of the way.
Oh yeah, that's good thinking.
So I kept driving jet bikes around, so the zombies were chasing jet bikes into circles, kind of, and hurting them. I was hurting zombies with jet bikes. But yeah.
And then the last one is Salvation. Every man for himself. You can see the extraction point ahead. You need to get it. Basically, you got the landing pad is defined as the utmost level of the tower. You may call and transport the end of the round, but only when there are no zombies on the landing pad. On a roll of 3+, the transport arrives. Rescue any models on the landing pad. Anyone not on the landing pad when the transport arrives is left for dead. So you are screwed.
That was a hard one. That was the hardest one for sure. Because you have to move into the zombies.
By then you also have less guys to work with because they've been eaten.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a fun one.
Yeah, that was a good one. Now, the next one is what's it called? Let's see. Oh God.
Isn't that the last one for
Then
at least the zombie
campaign
campaign?
is the
Right?
next one, yeah.
Well, the zombie ones, yeah. Let's see.
The regular
All right, so
campaign is the frontal assault one.
Now, this is the one I really like. This is the one. I really didn't play the zombies. I really did the Purge of Outpost H36. So basically, it was Simmons and Dr. And they were in here. So you can use Dr. Urovich. And now this one, mission 1 was called Frontal Assault, which was awesome. Here we go.
Yeah, this is the one that Tim Jackson and I played this one, and then the one with the tower. So,
this one was cool. So basically, you are on one side, the other side. There's kind of like a door that you got to go through, and the enforcers need to keep the pressure up if they are to catch Dr. Irvich. They can't afford to get caught in a protracted engagement outside the facility. The enforcer player gains VPs by moving his models off the mat through one of the cubes marked in yellow, which is across the board from you. VPs are earned equal to the VP of the model if it were killed by the enemy. Plague forces is simply trying to stall the attack while the forces inside the facility rally a defense. At the end of each round, before the checking for a winner, a player gains 3 VPs. Okay, did that change at all, or is that still the same?
Nope, that's still the same.
Okay. An enforcer required 12 victory points to win. The plague must earn 15 points to win. This was tough, man, because the plague getting 3 victory points after each round was a tough one, man.
Yeah, 5 rounds is over no matter what.
Yeah, no matter what. So
it's your game timer right there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And another
so you can't
thing,
just sit back and pop them.
Right. The only good thing is the enforcers spend up to 200 points, and the plague spends up to 175.
Yeah.
You know,
so you're a little better off. Yeah.
Right. But then again, for 175, you're playing plague. You could fit a lot of models into that.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Next one was decisive action. Players gain victory points for killing enemy models. However, due to the importance of Dr. Irvich to the enforcers, the enforcer player must kill him to win the scenario. Dr. Irvich is worth double VPs if he's destroyed. First player to reach 16 victory points is the winner. So basically you have the L opposite deployment zones, and you just got to go in there and do it. Now, what's kind of cool is both players are 175. Plague player does not purchase a leader, but rather it takes a standard Plague 1 to represent Dr. Irvich. So that was cool. He was basically Dr. Irvich became a stage 1.
Yeah.
And you had to kill him. And for Pathfinders with no VP, that was a bitch. That was a tough one, man. But that was a lot of fun, man. That one was great. And with that, there's no time limit. You know. So Dr. Irvich has worked double VP. So what's stage 1 worth in VPs? Is he 4?
Yeah, probably. I would think he's up there.
Yeah. So then he would be 8. Yeah. So that was another one. I had a Tyler like shooting for me, and I ended up killing him. Andrew was playing the plague, and I took him out with Dreadpad Zone type rolling. So worked out good. Okay, the next one's called A New Threat, and there are 4 yellow squares in the middle. You got a red and blue deployment zone that runs the whole thing. Enforcers are looking for information on the terminals scattered throughout the map represented by the objective markers. The enforcer player gains VPs by holding objectives. Additionally, the enforcer finds intel. It is worth 3 rather than 1. The plague forces are attempting to disrupt the enforcer's progress. They gain VPs for killing enemy models as normal. The first player to reach 20 victory points wins. This is really tough, man. You got to basically hold the objectives in the middle.
Yeah, I like how each group gains the VPs. That's fun. Like Plague are doing it one way and the enforcers are doing it another way. That's kind of fun.
Right. Yeah. And it's cool because it's like it almost goes back to when we used to pull cards, and the cards are everybody had a different mission. You know what I mean? And I guess that's similar with the secret missions, but this one's like it's out there. It's kind of cool that it's out there. You know, I like that a lot. Arthur's saying that's exactly the way I made it. I don't know if that's pertaining to another mission. We're a little delayed. Plus, it's hard to have both things up here. But yeah, this was cool. Message received. That's the one. This is my favorite one. Tim, this is the best one right here. So basically, you take 4 cubes in the middle. All right, Rob, you have that? Can you put that deployment zone there? It'll hold it still.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Yep, that's it. Okay, so basically with this one, those 4 cubes in the middle is your that's where the enforcers are deployed. The plague players use the red deployment zone, which is across the board all the way across. You got to place 4 objective markers and 4 cubes surrounding it. The value of they don't matter. Now here's the cool thing. The enforcer player is trying to prevent the tower from being destroyed while the signal is being decrypted. At the end of the round, before checking for a winner, the enforcer player gains 3 victory points. The enforcer player required 15 to win. So basically, it's like the mission before. You got to hold them off for 5. If you hold them off for 5 rounds, you'll win. So there you go. It's the timer's already in there. Plague's only goal of this mission is to destroy the broadcasting tower. In order to destroy the tower, the plague player must place explosives in key locations. To do so, he must control each of the objectives at the end of at least one of his turns. To help you remember which explosives have been placed, once an objective has been held, remove the objective marker from the mat. So you basically put the objectives on. If they are in there for one whole turn, they have placed the bomb and it blows up. This is a lot of fun. The only thing was, my suggestion to Tim was putting the tower in the middle, in the direct middle. So basically, the plague are 1, 2, 3 cubes away was a little tough. When we moved it back 1 or 2 spaces, I moved it back 1, and it actually worked.
Yeah, it's not directly in the middle anymore.
Yeah.
See it? It is back 1 now.
Hold on.
Oh,
Let me see. Hold on. 1,
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. No, it's the same place.
Yeah, but it's back 1. It's not directly in the middle. It's only 2 from the back, but 4 from the front.
Yeah, that's the way it was originally.
Yeah. So it's not directly in the middle. It's back a bit.
No, yeah. But what I'm saying is, if you move it back 1 more away from the deployment zone, then it was a little bit more competitive back and forth. The plague did win a few times, but the Pathfinders basically had a good thing, because we were playing plague versus Pathfinders, with recon.
You think the blue square should be closer to the plague then?
No.
Is that what you're saying?
One away from the red.
Even 1 farther, so it's only 1 square from the back?
Yes.
Oh.
Oh, see, he did. That's exactly the way I made. Oh, I'm sorry. I did shift the tower back 1 space in the final mission. It was only 2 spaces away. Yeah, from the plague at first. Okay. Yeah. All right. I'm sorry, Tim. You did send the updated one. So yeah, I'm glad you did that. It was better. It was better that way. Because the other one, it was 2 spaces. It was impossible.
It was too close to the plague. The plague were just dominating, or the enforcers were just killing everybody too fast.
So basically, what happened was the plague has to sit in the. They have to sit in the cube for 1 turn without anybody in it, but you hoard it up or whatever, and you get it there for 1 turn. It was really hard to do.
Yeah.
And you take a bunch of stage 1s or some things like that, and then you got Dr. Simmons giving them the frickin' splats, which give them whatever they need for that particular one. That was a tough scenario, but by far this is my favorite. This was really a good mission. This is a great, even a one-off mission, just for fun. It's really awesome.
Yeah, it sounds fun.
Yeah, no, it really is. And then you could just make a tower in the middle. We put like a 3-level tower in the middle, and we just used that to shoot off and stuff, and it worked out pretty cool. And then mission number 5 is launch code accepted. So basically, the plague have a 4x4 deployment zone in one corner, and then there's a 3x3 deployment zone for the enforcers. Okay, victory conditions is both players earn VP by killing enemy models. Additionally, at the end of each round, before checking for a winner, the plague player gains 1 victory point for each landing pad cube that he has controls. A landing pad cube is defined as the utmost level of a cube in the stack in the enforcer deployment zone. The first player to get 20 wins. So basically, you have to defend the whole like deployment zone. And then
As they're being attacked, yeah.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool. This one is fun too, man. This was a lot. Here's what I like, man. I really like this. Each player may spend up to 250 points to build their strike team. Yeah. So basically, it's like it's all or nothing. Everybody's coming. Everybody's everybody's.
There's the picture of it. It's a pretty cool picture.
Yeah.
People
Hold on,
on the plague attacking the zone there.
Yeah, that's the thing I got to get. I got to get one of those landing pads. I really like that.
And the 250 points. Now we've yet to make 250 points. We started where they at the 150. We moved up to the 200. And we've played 200 since. I think that's a sweet spot. As a go-to number, that's the way to go. But 250. How much more? What was that extra 50 points spent in? We'll make it more well-rounded, or was that when you got out the glamour? Was that when I got a few extra points? Let's throw a little heat on this. Like 50 points.
Yeah, 50
How
points.
many more guys could you get?
Well, you know what? You can take 4 more Pathfinders, or actually 3 more Pathfinders, or you could take 1 billion zombies. You can really go to town with it.
Finally, you can basically have a 200-point thing and then a Strider, which is always a good option.
Mm-hmm.
I like me a Strider.
Just if you want to bet, Unless you're a Forge Father, in which case you can't afford it still.
Yeah, it's still too expensive.
Oh, yeah. Well, that needs to be addressed in another rant, but yes.
Well, team building exercises. The next one is going to be the Forge Fathers. So I expect you.
I might have an
hot
opinion. I might have a few opinions for that one.
You'll be able to unload.
All right, so
if you ever need a.
All right, here we go. So Tim said, "Yeah, after I play tested that one with Tyler, we decided it was too close. I would have won if it weren't for him taking out my Strider." So I think he's got sour grapes there.
For good reason, honestly.
Yeah. So
that was a freak of nature.
All right. So it's because you and Tim decided when I told him that we should move it back, that didn't matter. All right, Tim. I see where you're coming from, Tim. But I did make the same suggestion. I was like, it's way too close, and the plague again there. Plus, when stage 3s move at 2-3, it's ridiculous. But yeah, it's much better to where it is now. And that's it. That's all the missions. So overall, I mean, let's go around the horn. What do you think, Tyler, about the missions? Great minds think alike. Yeah, there you go, Tim.
About the missions, I'd like to play all of them. I haven't got to play all of them, and I really want to. I have the book ordered. It'll be here at some. Zombie ones are largely the same from the Contagion, and I played a lot of that, so I don't see anything wrong there. I want to get the book, and I want to start killing everything. That's my goal. That's all I want to do in life is kill things with murder birds.
Oh. Murder birds and bursters.
Yeah. What do you guys think, man? The Terrence and Phillip, you like this stuff, or what do you think about the missions?
We did
look fun.
missions, but clearly you got a reaction. There's someone laughing at that. I like the sounds of the way it's set up. I can appreciate that now we don't have cards to say what our special missions are. They need to make it balanced, but they also have to give it some flair. And it sounds like they've added another within the scenario itself, some victory conditions that change it from a regular game, and I'd be interested in running through those campaign missions.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun, man. Even if you're going to do a one-off and just grab one just for the hell of it, it's pretty cool. Because that's the way we did. We kind of didn't do campaign. We just did one-offs, and we followed 1 to 5, but we kind of just did one-offs, and it was a blast, man. I dug it. You know what it is? It's like we said from the very beginning, more stuff, more better. And more missions, more better, more lists, more better, more splats, more better, so it's just making Deadzone that much better. Right, Rob?
Is more. More is more, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Quantity is a quality all its own.
Well, that's true.
But yeah, more missions. You just keep adding missions. I always say that they should be using their website, the Warpath website, just to keep adding missions and adding this kind of like user submitted missions. Like it doesn't have to be the core rules committee. You don't have to keep doing stuff, but people just keep submitting them, throw them up there. Because it's always fun. More stuff you keep it alive by playing more missions. I think that was the problem with the first iteration of Deadzone. You played those missions, you get those cards. After a while, you're like, oh, not this one again. You played the same thing 4 or 5 times, So
the worst part was when we pulled a card with a mission. You're like, oh, God, I hate this mission. And then you pull a second card, like, oh, this one's even worse. I should have kept the first one. It was terrible with that. But now, the missions are pretty good. I mean, other than the running off the board missions, because those suck. But all the other ones are pretty good.
But I like these ones where you can choose what you're doing. Like, it's so much more fun to do these. It's not just, oh, okay, I rolled a 6, so I'm playing this mission. I like the ones where it's like there's a bit of a narrative to it, and you get to choose what you're doing. You and your person you're playing, hey, would you want to try this one? Oh, yeah, that looks fun. You do that. And like I say, more like that, more narrative missions, more fun because it doesn't get stale that way. That's the worst thing for a game, any game, is if you play it and you're like, oh, I already did this. I don't feel like it's any too much different, especially if you're the kind of guy who only has one faction, unlike, I think, all of us. But some people only have one faction. If you play the same mission over and over again against the same guy who has the same faction, it gets pretty stale pretty quick. So these ones mix it up, different point sizes, different victory conditions. That's what makes the game replayable, that's for sure.
This one faction thing you speak of, I know not what that is. So
you'd be surprised. All those people on Facebook. All those tournaments on Facebook where it's like all enforcers versus plague because they only have the starter sets. I'm like, geez, you throw an Asterian or some Rebs in there, they just wipe those guys out, or Forge Fathers. It'd be fun to go against some of those people.
Yeah, I always like we're spoiled with just a wealth of different, like, depending on how you're feeling. If you're feeling a bit salty and you're like, you know what, I'm gonna get all plague up in this biatch right now. That's how the kids talk today, right? That's when they're betting their CDs at the mall. I think
right, back in the 80s. Go ahead, that's all right. Go ahead, keep going.
The resident millennial, I can confirm, yes.
We go. See, there you go. I got the youths on my side. Victory. We have we're spoiled for factions and stuff, and I think barring playing someone like having a pal that's like I always play, one that just won't mix it up, maybe even wanting to mix up his list, that would probably get a little on the stale side. But if you only had two factions and you could I'm gonna use these models, like the points help, but it would get a little dusty. So you can only, with the models you have, you can only make with 150 points.
Well, it's like playing a video game without any unlocks, or no new levels. You only have the set campaign or whatever, and then you wouldn't play anything else. So if you treat it like a video game, you got to get new downloads. You have to unlock new equipment and that kind of stuff. So I think it's the same for wargaming too.
I agree.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, I think the next step of evolution is going to be doing a campaign where the guys level up and giving guys names and giving them new abilities and stuff. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, you have enough guys playing there, Coach, that you can definitely do that.
Yeah, that's the thing. We actually got 2 more guys into it now. So hopefully the few bat reps that we do might get the newer guys on there playing some stuff.
When's the New York tournament scene starting up? So we have a reason to come down there.
Yeah, listen, you can come down anytime you want. We go right in the bunker, man. Put Tyler in a suitcase and bring him over.
I get to sleep with the dog. You said that was the selling point of going to visit you.
Oh yeah, you can sleep with the dog. It's no big deal. She'll be
Maybe
more
not
than happy. I know Jack would love that. So.
Well, your dog would get fleas.
Oh well, that's true. Could be worse.
Yeah, no,
but
I think I would get in there with Georgie's sweet digs and play Xbox with him.
So, in the cage.
Yeah.
The palatial cage.
You could be the palatial cage. He's got it better than all of us. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Poor Georgie.
Oh, don't say poor Georgie. That he's living large.
Living large. That's the pimp OG, original Georgie.
Although he does have to support all those ex-wives he has with all those strange children he ends up having on the.
Yeah, he's got a pretty wide family tree at this juncture.
Actually, Rob, we're currently working on a secret project, but I'll let you and all these millions of viewers know. So we want to do we're going to write something where Georgie becomes the big hero, and he does all that. So we'll have a part for it. We've already written a part for Tyler, and yeah, so we're going to do that. And let's just say that it was revealed to us in the Marauder episode of Team Building Exercise that he has 2 Hulk sons, and
right.
That mystery will be unraveled of the Hulk affair and everything. So we were spitballing it today, and we wrote some notes down. I think although Containment Protocols was awesome, this is going to be gold. This is going to be incredible.
Love Georgie the Goblin.
Right. There will be Jack will watch it, and as he's listening to it, he will get all pissed-eyed, and it'll be almost like an Indian has littered, and he'll have that just
that single
tear going down his cheek as it is. So.
Yeah.
Classic.
As long as it's not 10 one-hour stories or whatever it was that broke, doing all that that broke. Yeah, if it's a reasonable length, like a sexual awakening or whatever you got planned, then we'll record it up and we'll make it sound pro-fish.
It'll almost be Georgie spring break coming out party, that type of we could get real descriptive with the fighting and all that good stuff. So, but other than people who show up late, I think we should wrap this sucker up because we've been doing it over 2 hours.
Yep.
Tyler, you want to any first and final words since you're late to the party here?
I can't wait for Warpath. It's killing me right now that I have to keep waiting because I'm dying here. And seeing the pictures of people with the new Plague Stage 3s on Facebook, and I don't have them yet, it's just driving me nuts. Like, I can't wait. Let's see. If I'm going to do some shameless plugs, I am about to click the upload button on on the novel, The First Strike. I did a video review of that, so if you haven't, go read it. If not, you can watch me talk about it for a few minutes.
Yeah,
I'm probably going to
people yet.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
Just one thing. Lieutenant Rocker's a badass.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Yes, so badass.
So awesome.
Oh
King.
God.
I like King.
Oh yeah, King's great too. But there's like a section where Rocco's just, oh man, it's the best. So when that hits retail for all 5 of you who are watching this who don't have it yet, which you probably do have it if you're watching this, go read it if you haven't. It's worth your time. It's fun.
Yeah, I'm almost done with it. It's really done. It was done well. It was really done well.
Hey Jack, what do you think about Fluff?
Oh yeah, the book with the fluff in it. I was really a big deal.
Oh, there it is. That's what the people pay for.
That's right. That's why I set him up. He knocked it out of the park.
That's it.
But it is a great book. Like the Veerspeak there, is that his name? Christopher Veerspeak?
Yeah.
He's the man. He's getting Warpath down, and it's really not even a Warpath novel. I'd say it's almost it's everything. It's got small skirmish. It's got Wolfish, it's got Star Saga stuff going on, and
it was really well done. I really had a great time with it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it quite a bit.
I just think as far as the the novels are concerned, I think they need to take a black library, take a thing out of there where it's not. It has nothing to do with the game. It has to do with itself. And if they start going along that line, and all right, in the book there was Veerman and Pathfinders, and there was a whole bunch of stuff, and it was really cool. But if they just expand the universe and don't worry about so much the game, but worry about the fluff and focus on that, it's going to be really good, because we could figure a way to make our games fluffier and make the fluff more gamier, on our own. But the novels uncovering all the stuff that we didn't know is really, really cool. Or just reading about, the enforcers, how they are, and, the guard, how they are, the GCPS guys. And,
Well, I even loved the scenery that he set up. Here, I'm going to cut you off. I'm going to go here. I liked the way that he described the way that the city gets their farming, the way they do the agriculture, stuff like that. I think is just the coolest thing.
Yeah.
That's what gets your mind racing. You just picture these giant, buildings with rows and rows of artificially grown food or whatever. And it's I don't know. I think that's what really fleshes out universes.
Right,
I think that's what makes it super cool.
The multiple tiers of different things, they're growing this on one level and this on another level and pumping the water up. Yeah, it was very, very good, very good. I like to do a scenery like that, but to play a game in it, but I think it would be too much. But all right, hold on. Rusted Beetle, another good guy, man. Always commenting on videos. A good guy right there. We were talking about the First Strike by Christopher Veerspeak. If you backed Warpath, it was Warpath, right, guys?
Yeah, Warpath.
Yeah, you got a digital version of the book. So that came in. That's what Tyler's talking about. He's going to be uploading a video.
It should be available on Mantic Digital eventually. It's just not there yet.
Yeah, and I think I saw on the Until Someone Loses an Eye blog that it's coming very soon. A paperback version too, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it won't be too long. We're just hyping it up right now. No spoilers, obviously.
Yeah, no spoilers. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a good read, man. You know what? If you're into this thing other than Jack, you probably want to read about the fluff. I love it. That just for me fleshes out the universe. I'm like, all right, man, we got to play. We got to roll some dice.
Yeah, I like how it's the corporations get kind of fleshed out a bit more. A new corporation, and they really explored them a bit. And finally, an enforcer who's not a bad guy. Every containment protocols, anytime an enforcer came on the screen, he was a bad guy.
They were straight up evil in containment protocols.
So I felt that was cool.
The one where the one story where they stopped the ship and they kind of basically boarded the ship and everything, and they're like
murder everyone.
And all the people around. All right, you go over here. You go over here. You go over here. All right, it's not a big deal. And the guy was like a 40-year veteran and this and that, and the guy just blasted his head off
yeah, they give him that whole backstory, and it's and then he put his wrist blade through his skull, and it's
yeah, exactly. It spikes into the floor.
I don't know. Now, Tyler, you could back me up on this, or you could agree or disagree with that. That particular story, which I really liked, but it reminded me of a little grimdark.
Yeah, just a tiny bit, just a little bit. Yeah, it had
a little bit.
Right. They were just the enforcers were just a tad bit robotic in that one, just a little bit too zealous in what they were doing. I feel like the novel that came out, the First Strike, I think they did a much more interesting job. It was much less black and white, and that's what I like.
Exactly. All right, so Rick is saying that it's on the site. It's on the site now for £10.
Oh, there you go. Perfect.
Do it up. It's worth
I
it.
checked the other
It's
day
fun.
and it wasn't. That must have just happened.
Well, I think because Ronnie's watching right now, and the foremost influential people in the Dead Zone universe,
Coach and
right.
friends.
Warpath universe for that. So,
Yeah.
Well,
No comment.
if he is, and he knows what's coming, and he's going to get sleeper hold from Coach if there's no by Adepticon, a small Sergeant Howlett ready and waiting for Coach. So and it's nice you got that story on there. But unless you want to be knocked out, that's Sergeant Howlett gone.
I mean, because Ronnie's like a whole $105, so that's no problem for me. Well, I'll be doing the Stone Cold. I'll be drinking the beer and holding them in the other hand, so it's not a big deal. But
No.
yeah. So
Threatening the CEO of the company. Nothing like it.
I don't care.
We're fans.
Listen, when I start getting checks, it'll change. But right now, fair and objective. That's the way it is right now.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, so Dead Zone Podcast, we have a team building exercise coming up with the Forge Fathers. That'll be out the end of the month, which is November. So after you're farting all your turkey out, you can maybe listen to this and hear us fart out some lists and stuff like that.
Well, the
And then,
Civilized School has already celebrated Thanksgiving in October.
Yeah.
So after
That was like over a month ago. What are you talking about?
So it's all digested now. There should be no bird left in the old colon. But
well, I'm not talking about the communist country up north. I'm talking about the true force of politics now in the United States, true hub of democracy. So.
Well, there's no way that's a landmine. Landmine for
Let this go on from there.
Let's just.
We will be recording the Nexus Psi unboxing. We're probably going to do that tonight, so we'll have that out soon as the 0.5 episode before team building exercise. So listen for that.
Listen,
Nice.
I'll be honest with you. Usually when we go off air, we talk for about 4 hours. So I don't think you get into anything tonight. So
Probably not. It'll have to be a Skype message.
Here, I have your video, your audio right here.
There you go.
there you go.
Fully work for us.
I you know what, Tyler, if you're going to use my jokes, then please just
Oh, okay. TM Coach.
a little footnote saying that Coach did that in Team Build in Dead Zone Monthly 2. So
Well, it's because we just do enough unboxings that you can make the joke every time.
It's true. I'll have an annotated bibliography. Just check out the website. We'll have it up there.
I was kind of pissed off because the last unboxing that you guys did, Rob used his editing skills and kind of there wasn't that much crinkle. So
I know. We have a new way of recording.
I was doing the unboxing, and my fingers are like little ballerinas. Just felt little, like it's like a ballerina mated with a ninja, and they're just like, like right now I'm unboxing up. Like I've got in one hand I have a Rice Krispies, in the other hand I've got foam peanuts. You can't hear a thing, right? I'm just like,
no, that's very impressive.
While you're walking on bubble wrap.
Yes, and eating.
You can't do this kind of stuff on the podcast because it's theater of the mind. Now you get Jack miming things by video. Look at that. You can see him doing these things. Instead, he usually just does it for me.
I do.
Now he's got a video audience to see his miming.
When I'm not playing up to the audience, so I'm just staring deadpan at him while he's trying to conduct, business as usual.
I take orders from one person under protest.
Yep, it's all disturbing to me.
Yeah. So we've got the team building exercise. We're gonna do the unboxing, and then we're gonna maybe not anytime soon. We just released a Dead Zone podcast. It was probably one of our best. You should check it out. Like if you're really gonna hop on board on the Dead Zone podcast, 62. That's where you want to. There was some comedy gold. There are some real gems.
Yeah, excellence in broadcasting, right there.
Yeah. And that's basically what, as far as I know, Rob. What's going on?
Good. What are you up to, Coach? What do you got coming up?
I just released today the Pathfinders versus Veerman. Jack's favorite family gamer versus myself. He was taking the Veerman, I was taking the Pathfinders. And through group chats and whatnot, Eric was always saying, no, this will work, no, this will work, no, this is work, no, this is work. And then I proved to him that the Veermen need help, and it was yeah, it was bad. So if you want to see a lot of dice rolling, because I hear all of a sudden everybody doesn't like dice rolling all of a sudden, check out Family Gamer's newest video, and then I got 2 hobby videos that I'm editing right now. I'm actually currently in the process of updating the computer system, because when you edit the one video, the last one, the Deadzone battle report was Plague versus Pathfinders, and it was a 5-rounder. It went 5 rounds. It's an hour video.
An hour 11.
An hour 11, yes. It went. It took 27 hours to render.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's why we don't do video.
Wow.
So no, editing is the easy part. You know, we do it and then just, you know, render now, and I go to work for 2 days and I come back. 65%. I'll come back later. Oh, look. Oh, we're at 67%. Okay, great. So, you know,
New computer, that'll help.
yeah. So I'm trying to get maybe 16 gig of RAM to speed up the process, because that's really what it is. I got a lot of stuff ready to go. It's just I can't edit while it's rendering. So, but I got a few hobby stuff. I did my Forge Fathers. I want to release that, and then I started painting the Aberration, but I'm painting them like the Attack on Titan guys.
Oh,
I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Attack on Titan.
all skinless.
Yeah, so Tyler, there's this thing called we have them called manga or cartoons, right? And
Yeah. Well, I know what
actually-
it is. I've never watched it.
yeah, actually, I can't watch it because it's dubbed and I don't want to read. So I'm waiting for the English version to come out. But
There is an English version. That's what I watched. I watched the English sub.
Yeah, I watched the English version.
well, maybe because the communist country might release them up there. I don't know. It's not on Netflix.
But it was
No, Netflix sucks. Netflix sucks for anime. Definitely
Yeah.
didn't watch on Netflix.
But yeah, so I'm working on that now. I'm going to try to maybe video that, and that's what's going on. We're just doing more bat reps. Unfortunately for me, football season's over, so we can get a lot more Dead Zone going, and then the most important thing, Adepta Prep. Getting ready for the
someone here is going. I heard, right, Tyler? You're going to Adepta.
Yep, I have officially bought the plane ticket, so I will see you for real finally.
Wow. Competing or not? You competing or not competing?
Oh, you might as well. I mean, I've never played in a tournament, but it's got to be fun. So.
Oh, I can't wait to beat the living shit out of you. Oh my!
Have you not seen my dice? I don't see what the. I mean, last time I checked my dice, it was I don't know, probably about 8 8s in a row.
Talk to Pat. Talk to Pat about provided dice.
I've gotten to a point in my life where I will walk you over and I will buy you some new dice. Not a problem.
Because I recall your dice can only roll well on recon tests.
That's okay. Superior Tactics will beat that. I negate all your dice rolls. Not a problem.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about that. And then here we go. Right before we go, I got a bombshell. Ready? This is coming from Arthur. The guy was on. He's on the rules committee. Here we go. Keep an eye on the Mantic blog next week for the public debut of the GCPS Army list, letting you use your GCPS troopers from the Warpath Kickstarter in Dead Zone.
Woo!
Yep, finally.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's going to be, with Arthur, that's official.
So any day now, that box, we're Warpaths any day now.
Right. So now if you get your GCPS troopers,
so I just
time to go.
Yeah.
Put them in. Get them on your 2x2s and your 3x3 grids, and let's get it done. That's pretty cool.
Yep.
Yes, Rusted Beetle. I know there's a live action movie. I haven't seen it yet though. So, and then Rick said that he's downloading episode 62 now. And then somebody Rusty Beetle said we should do 100 points of reverse enforcers versus 200 points of Veerman, and still if you still win. All right, we can try that.
I'm curious about that too. Actually, you should do that on the channel, Coach, because that'd be really cool to see.
I would do it. That would be cool.
Or even 200 points of enforcers versus 400 points of Veerman.
Oh man, no, that'd be a nightmare to edit.
Not really. They'd still die in 2 rounds.
Oh yes, good point. I
This
forgot.
video
More targets.
for a week.
Yeah, like $1.25 versus 200. That might work.
I think double.
That might work. 200, 400. Too bad
Or,
we don't have any.
or even 200. I think 100, 200 would be fun to watch.
Yeah. Just for shits and giggles.
Yeah, for sure.
That might work.
But you got to remember, less terrain, no terrain on the board, and who was it that?
Yeah, I don't know. I like lots of terrain, man. That's
I don't think the Veerman would last longer on less terrain. They'd be shot.
Yeah. Oh yeah, forget about it.
I don't know.
You know, a lot of +2s.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. But all right, guys, it's been 2.5 hours, man. We've talked it out.
Yeah.
I think this was a good one, man. Nice and focused. We're going to try to do this again in December. You know, keeping our back on track. Deadzone Monthly. It's just been hell with everybody's schedules and whatnot, but back on track. So listen, watch Tyler's videos, listen to the podcast, watch Family Gamers for all your Deadzone needs and all your Deadzone goodness. And we'll see you on the YouTubes and through the warp and everything. All right. Take care, everybody.
And Facebook.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Aww.